Before we wander into the woods, a quick note. This episode contains full spoilers for the first half of Brom's Slewfoot.
Our discussion today touches on themes of religious extremism, isolation, and colonial violence. Please listen with care.
Welcome back to Cozy Midnight Collective. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Lauren. This June, we are leaving the modern hauntings behind and stepping back into the shadow of the 1600s.
Tonight, we are launching our 2-part deep dive into a world of ancient magic, rigid superstition, and a girl who refuses to bow.
Mm-hmm.
We're breaking down the first half of Slewfoot.
So grab your favorite warm drink, light a candle, and settle in for story time in the colony of Sutton.
Oh, Sutton. Before we meet the wild folk, it's time to set the energy for the episode. So you already know. Let's set up the altar for the midnight draw.
I'm so excited because we got like another tarot deck. And it's really cute because it's got crows on it. And I've already used this a couple times with my family at home. I specifically picked this one because like my husband feeds the crows in our neighborhood. And I was like, oh, I think they're starting to recognize us though, which is nice.
Yeah.
And they come like every morning like clockwork because he feeds them around the same time every day.
I'm excited to see, or I guess not see, but like hear when they start bringing him like little trinkets. Because I was asking him, I was like,
we'll see,
have they brought you anything
they
yet?
haven't
Like
quite,
teach them
yeah, they
to
haven't
bring
quite
you shiny
done
medals.
anything like that yet, but I know that
it takes time.
It takes time, and we want to build like one of those like altar things for them, so we get to put the food up there, and then we give them like a spot to leave the treasures.
Is it a special like?
It's literally just like
house.
It's literally just like a stick with like a flat piece of wood on top.
Oh, okay.
It's well, literally that's all it is. Yeah. So yeah, we've been talking about doing that and putting it like in the front, but like we want to keep it like away from the dogs because the dogs are just idiots.
Yeah, you don't want them like eating crow poop all the time either.
Yeah, or like just scaring them off. And then, but like we can't put it in the middle of the yard because we have like a apartment people, like they have like a lawn service that comes and does the front yard every week, and they'll just mow right over it. They've like mown over so much of our like flowers and stuff that we have out there, and they've like pulled it down, so it's just annoying. But
that's not cool.
And then the backyard is for like the regular birds.
Right, because they know boundaries.
Well, yeah, they'll try to take like the crow stuff, and we don't want them touching the crow stuff. So okay, so we've got the 10 of Swords, the upside down Page of Swords, and upside down Death. That's
okay. 10 of Swords, and it's upright. Okay. The defeated broken crow lies on the ground at the bottom of a cliff surrounded by cold, barren rocks. Alone in his misery, this poor bird has been left for dead, impaled by 10 swords. His ordeal is marked by the heaviness of betrayal. The 10 of Swords could indicate being backstabbed and may denote the end of a painful situation. Oh, I hope not. If there is one positive aspect to this card, it is that the time of suffering will soon be over. This card asks you to let go and accept that an end is coming. By doing so, you will find the strength to move on. Do you feel like you've been backstabbed?
No. It's funny because when I did this with Wade, he got like all of like the most negative, like horrific cards. And so it's like, I remember reading this one to him, and he's like, Jesus, like, what did you guys do?
Oh, he got that?
Yeah. So...
Well, it's not always right, you know. It's like when it's spot on, I'm like, yes, I believe in the magic. I feel it. And then when it's not on, I'm like, it's a card game.
Yeah. No, give me nothing. It's fine.
Page of Swords. Okay, so it's reversed. The Page of Swords reverse represents a person who talks a big game, but doesn't have the experience to back it up. The card reverse may also warn of jumping in too hastily without proper research, and as a result, wasting energy.
Cool.
Cool. Death reversed is a sign that you are resisting change and holding on to behaviors or thought patterns that are preventing your growth. Take this as a warning to look at the habits that are preventing you from reaching your full potential.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like the death one for sure.
Yeah.
I am working on it, so.
Yeah, I was just thinking you are working on it.
Pull a card from the center of the deck and place it face down on the table. Let your mind wander peacefully. When ready, pull 2 more and place them face down in the shape of a crow. Card 1 would be your heart energy and your inner self. So this position represents an energy that is serving as a foundation. It may be one that is permanent and represents one's true nature or an energy that has taken hold of the heart due to life events. This card's energy operates in the background and is tied with the present energy. So card 1 is Queen of Wands reversed. When this card appears reversed, it is a sign that the Queen of Wands is lacking confidence and feeling scared that she will never live up to the potential she once felt was possible. She urges you to look deep within and ask yourself if fear is holding you back. So then the card 2 is the present energy. So this is the surrounding energy that creates the mood and creates the atmosphere for future events to emerge.
Okay.
So Knight of Cups. When reversed, the Knight of Cups may represent a person who has become overly emotional and may jump to conclusions without having all the facts. The Knight of Cups may also point to a relationship that has lost its creativity and has become mundane. And then card number 3 is energy holding you back or helping you. This is the energy that may be supporting your goals or adding friction to the situation. Often the card that comes through in this position hints at your hopes and fears. And that would be the upright Hanged Man.
Okay.
The Hanged Man, so keywords would be delay, letting go, waiting, and waiting to decide. The element is water. So the crow hangs from the blossoming cherry tree, allowing his wings to fall in complete surrender. He stays still, leaning into the position and allowing the blood to rush in to nourish his brain. Away from the raucous noises of the roost, he has let go and is at peace. It is in the silence he will discover the answers he needs to help move a project or desire forward. The Hanged Man asks that you put the situation or plan on pause so that you can look at it from a different angle. There may be a vital element that you are missing, and the result may be a longer delay. The Hanged Man may suggest getting away from the situation both mentally and physically so that you can recharge your energy and approach the issue with a renewed vitality. This card may also represent a project put on hold due to an external force out of your control. The only course of action is to wait patiently.
Those were really good.
Yeah, the special cards or whatever. Those ones have like much longer.
Yeah, I like
things.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
I like that. I love it. It's like makes me feel good, and I like reading them for like the girls. They like it, and it's cool because I do feel like even if you're not aware of like how to label like an emotion or a feeling, even if it's something like you haven't even really identified yet, but then sometimes you hear the cards and you're just like, oh, like that like answers that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a feeling.
No, I agree.
You know?
The death one like definitely is like my thing. I'm like, I'm really trying to work on myself and like my confidence and all that stuff, and I'm working on it.
So. Good. Yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere. I think it's great. We all deserve happiness within ourselves. It's really easy to lose and really hard to gain back. You know, it really is. Even if it's just like a change to a schedule, you know, just, I get it. Like whether you're trying to work out or eat healthier, and it's just like the time you have to put into researching, like, what are you even going to like? How are you going to do it? Then how are you going to fit it in your schedule? Like every little thing takes up time that you didn't think it was going to be like that difficult, and then it is. So like once you get going, it's good, just like momentum, keep going.
I always heard that like it takes like 2 weeks to make a habit and like 2 weeks to like fully break a habit. And so like that's what I'm trying to hold on to.
Or 27 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to hold on to. Coming from like being in the Marine Corps, where it's like everything is like you're weighed all the time. There's probably a lot of Marines out there that would probably agree with me, and there's probably a lot of Marines that would be like, well, you're just, you know, a fat body or whatever. But at the end of the day, a lot of Marines' worth are tied to their weight and whether or not they can run
the physicality
3 miles in like a certain amount of time, right?
PT,
which
right?
It's important.
Yeah.
It's very important. It's important to be healthy and take care of yourself, especially if you're ever going to be in a situation where you need to take care of somebody or yourself, or
like a
I
life
mean,
or death situation.
if it's a life or death situation,
Yeah.
But I knew so many people that weren't within like the weight guidelines of what the Marine Corps set forward, and I would sooner trust them with my life than I would trust somebody who could run like a marathon, like in whatever marathon time is, you know, like I am not a runner. I hate running with a burning fucking passion. But
you don't have to run to get fit.
I can lift a lot. I can carry people. I can hike like a mother. Like I can hike so fucking well. I can hike with weight on my back. Like, you know, it doesn't
like a rock.
It's just like one of those things where it's like my brain sometimes still takes me back to that, where it's like, and then you compare yourself to others, right? Like I have had 2 kids, right? And actually it's kind of funny because like a small side conversation, but up here in Washington we have bikini baristas.
Oh yeah.
And my friend
like
from
the
out of
ladybug
town,
ones, right?
My friend from out of town.
I accidentally went there when I moved here, and I had no idea what it was, and I pulled up and I was like, I said, "Oh, caramel latte brave,
like,
hot."
What is this?
And I ordered, and she brought it, and I was like, and I used to be a stripper, so like I'm not judging by any means, but I was so thrown off.
You're not.
If you don't know. And then driving away, I was like, oh my God, that's why all the windows were blacked out and it's like painted like a fucking ladybug. Yeah. I tipped her, but then the coffee was the worst coffee. And it was like $10.
Yeah, well, yesterday.
For a whole fucking like 12 ounces. I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. No, I mean, the one I went to was pretty good. She was really sweet.
She did a good job.
Really sweet. And like they talk to you and stuff like that, which is like for me, I'm shy, you know?
Just regular people.
Yeah. But
They're
I'm
not
like,
models.
I'm shy because like the whole point why we went over there was to, like, he was like, yeah, I want to
let's go look
coffee.
At the girls.
I want to, you know, not in a creepy way, but he was like, you know, I just want to go.
In a sexual way.
So, but he's just like, it's interesting because he's like, we don't have this where I'm from. Like, this is not a thing. And so it's like, yeah, let's just go. So we went, and this girl's really sweet. Gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And I'm like, her and I are talking, and she's kind of like, oh, like, what do you guys do for work? And like, you know, he's active duty. And so he was explaining like what he does. And then she asked like if I was active duty, and I'm like, okay, look at me. Like, no. But then I'm also like, oh, I was, you know, like whatever. And like, we kind of got into the discussion, and then we were there for a minute, and cause she was making like 3 drinks and stuff. And so we were talking, chatting, and then came up that like, you know, I've got 2 kids. And she's like, oh, I have 2 kids. And I'm like, fuck, like, comparing, and then I compared myself to her and like what she looked like, and she's like just this beautiful woman. And then I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, there's so many other factors that come into play other than like the amount of kids you have. Like, you know, you've got like your genetics, you have like, I think what fucked me up was I had a birth control bar. Like I got the Nexplanon put in. As soon as I put my Nexplanon in after I had my daughter, it fucked me up. Like I blew up. I got really big. And then I took it out a couple years later, and then I got pregnant with Reese like a few months later. Yeah. And then like they say it takes like 2 years for your body to get back to normal after having kids. And I'm just like, is it because of that? Or is it like, am I lazy? Like, I mean, like, cause like I eat like twice a day. Like I'm not like
maybe you're not eating
overeating. Yeah. Like I don't feel like I'm doing that. But then there's like some days where I'm like, I can't fucking stop. You know, so it's just like, I don't know. My point is, all of that aside, I'm working on it.
It's hard.
It is.
You try. Yeah. And then if one day fails, you just don't give up. You just, okay, well, tomorrow's a new fucking day, and we're going to like give it another go. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, hell, I'm giving in because it's easy.
Yeah.
But you just, it's just, I need to tell myself, don't give in every day. Like, some days are going to be hard, and you just have to stick to it. You know, even if your daughter is screaming bloody murder at the top of her lungs and it hurts your ears, just keep going.
Yeah. So,
well,
with that,
with our little banter,
I want to start by saying I have seen and heard about this book for years, right? Like I've seen it recommended on like a lot of like, you know, horror, gothic, you know, that type of vibe.
Witchy
1600s, that type of thing. If you liked Witch, you'll like the movie Witch or The Witch or whatever. You'll like Slewfoot. I'm like, gorgeous cover, so beautiful. And I had no idea that the author, who is Brom, he also not only wrote this amazing book, but he also illustrated the cover. And he's got, like, in the middle of the book, he's got portraits of these characters. So we've got our main character. Actually, before we even introduce Abitha, the way this book was started, the way it opens, so good. So
it like caught you right away.
Unique. You're seeing it from the perspective of like what you assume is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Or the antagonist. You think this is going to be
a
opposition.
Honestly, I was like, oh, it's going to be like a bloodbath book.
Yeah.
Of this fucking like demon and his little like hooligan sidekicks. And I was all down for that. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I was like, ooh, like just the way he gets awoken out of this deep purgatory slumber,
yeah,
that he doesn't even know is a purgatory.
He like has, and that's the thing too, is like he has no idea who he is.
All he knows is he's content, and he wants to stay.
Why am I waking
he's
up?
Sleeping, and that's what feels good to him. He is like endlessly tired, so he's endlessly slumbering.
Yeah,
has no idea where he is, how long he's been there, who he was. If he's ever gonna leave, like he's like just literally in a trance, like indefinitely.
Yeah. And that's the thing too with this book too, is like I assumed it was gonna be like the devil, demons, similar to like the witch,
like folklore demon though, because I definitely went through and looked at all, like every single chapter. If not multiple times, I would go and look at my illustrations or the middle illustrations. And like so when I would look at him and be like, oh, is this her and this becomes her? Like I was like, how is this gonna connect? Are they different people but they look the same? Type of like ancestral stuff. But he made me fall in love with the whole, like immediately. I was immediately obsessed. And I really loved looking at the character reference. I was like, this just makes it so good.
It makes it easier also to like have
to visualize myself. Like, hands down, that immediately I was like, full moon. Like literally.
No,
right away.
I mean, honestly, it's a full moon for me too. I guess spoiler alert for our rating.
I mean, and we'll keep talking about it.
We'll keep talking about it and we'll reiterate why we gave it a full moon. But I mean, so
this wasn't even on like our radar until we went to that bookstore. We didn't even plan to like. We didn't even give you an option, as you saw, kind of like how we did.
Help it. Like it was. I mean, we did do like the June book of the month, but I think it's a blessing that book is so small. Yeah, like our official June book of the month. That we'll be able to
get them both in there because this deserves.
Yeah, and even this is also kind of a shorter book too.
What was it, 300?
It was like 300 pages, something like that. The way he wrote this book was so good. The beginning, so going to the beginning, you are kind of, it's like a dual POV, third person. Well, not dual. I'd say it's multiple POV, third person. This creature.
305.
Yeah. This creature is waking up from sleeping. And he's kind of pissed about it. He's like, why am I awake right now? Like, what is going on?
He's like, no, don't wake me. Don't wake me. Leave me alone.
And
I'm not doing anything for anybody. I'm fucking sleeping.
And these childlike voices are like, Father, like, it's time to wake up. It's time. And, you know, it's time to feast. Like, they keep trying to get him to eat. And the first thing that he kind of sees upon waking up is, like, he calls it, like, this weird horned creature. And we come to find out, like, in a couple sentences, it's a goat. Yeah. He finds a goat. And then it goes into detail of him, like,
just consuming.
Eating this goat.
Like, frantically. He's just like starved
as soon as
for blood.
at first he doesn't want anything.
He doesn't want
with
anything.
it.
He's like, fine.
He's like,
but once he tastes it, and then he's like, oh, like I'm hungry. I cannot like get enough.
Yeah. And again, there's like these 3 childlike voices, and they're like, yes, Father. Like they're encouraging,
Papa, Papa.
Father.
Father? Both. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, yes, Papa, yes, Father, like encouraging him to consume this goat.
You must eat, continue to eat. Very of like the 1600s, how you would speak then. Like all of it's in character.
Yeah, and then you hear like a woman's voice, and she's like yelling for Samson. She's Samson, where are you? Oh, you stupid goat! Like you can kind of hear her like cursing a little bit,
like in the background. I can background,
and he can hear it. And right off the bat, like as soon as the blood touches his lips, he's like pissed. He's kind of like, I want to kill everything now, like maim, kill, destroy, that type of thing. And so it's that moment we switch places, and now we're talking about our female main character, Abitha.
I love her.
Oh, I love her so much. So we're introduced to Abitha, who is our female main character, and Abitha is
so cute. She's like this petite little firecracker of a redhead. And she comes from outside of the Puritan community.
Yeah, she comes from like London, doesn't she? She comes from like somewhere over the pond.
So I envision her like, England, from over there.
Yeah.
The Puritans are the people that obviously left and came over and established like in the 13 colonies, like the 13 original colonies. Do you remember that song?
Vaguely.
Yeah. From when we were children, like learning about like America's heritage. Anyways,
I'm not gonna lie, I data dumped all that shit.
This is from literally so long ago, like in first grade. It's just an embedded memory. Yeah, the songs. But and so over here, I feel like those communities were probably was exactly what it was like very Christian and like we are building America like this. Yeah. And as you all know, as part of our history in America, there was Salem, Massachusetts it was all over. They used to do this to witches, but literally people that even helped cure people of like little ailments with natural remedies that we see all the time. Now they were considered like witches and would be tortured, murdered, hung, strung, burnt, all those things. And so it's like
they
very
do
much
reference
like
that with this, but they did like some of them were accepted very, very, but to a degree, and they would call them cunning women. But even that was still kind of like, if you take one step further than some of like the little things that like you're doing, like it could be something as simple as like, hey, I put some honey in your tea to make your sore throat go away. Like,
witch.
You're a witch, right? Yeah.
Pretty much and how it boiled down, because I remember, again, Morbid, Ashley and Lillian did this episode on, and it was actually so sad what they would do. And a lot of it would boil down to, you said something or did something that your neighbor truly didn't like you looked at their kid the wrong way, or just whatever, a kid throwing a temper tantrum, they're not getting their way, well then they're going to go tell the adults that like you're a witch and you're going to be murdered.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of community, like very strict. She's an outsider. She was essentially like sold by her father over to get married, and she's growing up, continuing to grow up, because I mean she's an adult, but she's very young. She's like 18. Right? Or
I think
19?
It's like early 20s, I want to say.
Okay, maybe.
But
okay, yeah,
still
early
very
20s.
young.
Yeah.
And especially for women in that
for
time.
being away from home, never been on a boat, let alone a boat to America to start your new life.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it even like, I will say she did roll the dice. Like, she didn't roll the dice. She got assigned to a really good husband initially.
Yeah.
Edward.
I love Edward.
Oh, my sweet Edward. So Edward before we get to him, I guess, like, well, no, we can kind of do a little backstory. So she says, like, as soon as she gets off the boat, she meets this guy, Edward. She says that he's, right off the rip, he's just very quiet.
Well, she was sold to him or whatever,
She was sold to him, yeah.
So she didn't get a chance.
Didn't get a chance to meet him until she literally got off the boat and he picked her up.
Yeah, to, like, go be with him. They're married.
Yeah, and she said he was very quiet, very soft-spoken. He's older. Mm-hmm. But she said he's not, like, terribly. He's not terrible, but he's also
he's not like graying.
Yeah, and he's not like super hot, but he's not ugly either. He's just kind of like an average looking man, and he has like a limp, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's got a limp.
Didn't he have like polio when he was a kid?
I think something like that. They said that he had a disease when he was younger, and so he just had never really quite healed right or something like that. And he's also very soft-spoken.
Fact check that.
He's very soft-spoken, and it kind of leads me to believe that like the way that she kind of describes him, I kind of wonder if he's also like on the spectrum, like maybe. You know, like kind of like on the lower end, but you know, but he's just an overall just really sweet guy, especially for the times
and for the community he was raised in and the community in which he lives. He's probably the only husband in that entire community that is like that.
I'd say the Reverend too.
No, well, but you would never know, like,
until we get there and we figure out
exactly. I feel like those kinds of communities where the woman, like, it's so far, like, from women having any kind of say.
Yeah,
it is, you will wear these 10 garments under your dress each day.
Yeah.
Like, it is, you're waking up at the crack of dawn, feeding the chickens, milking the cows, raising the kids, educating them, feeding, preparing meal. Like, it is like, the thought of a woman being independent, women, you probably couldn't even talk to them. Like, that would have been rough. Like, you go to church every single day. Every single day. Like, you are not to miss church ever unless you get a permission slip.
From the priest.
From the reverend.
Yeah, from the reverend, yeah.
And then if you miss, depending on why, maybe you'll get a pass. If it's habitual, you're going to the stocks. If you ever miss or are late to Sunday church, you're going to the stocks. And then, like, what's a stock?
So it's like those, like, you know, Beauty and the Beast. You know, if you've watched Beauty and the Beast, there's like a guy, like it's like wood, and there's like holes cut out, and so it's like your head, your hands, but then you're like on the ground,
but you're not standing.
Yeah, so it's like it's just uncomfortable,
like a kneel, almost.
Yeah, you're uncomfortable. You're put on display for the whole village
community
to see. And
that you fucked up.
Realistically, you're supposed to like reflect on what they've done, and then that you're supposed to then take that and then not make those same mistakes. But some people will push the boundaries and like they'll throw stuff at the people or whatever. And
and then they're not fed either. There's like no food, no bathroom, no sleep. You're like literally there reflecting for like hours to days.
Yeah. And Abitha comes from a place where she comes from London, or it's either London or England, where yes, it's strict, but she says like this is something else. Like she grew up in,
it's like one of those documentaries.
Kind of a really sad, she has kind of a sad backstory, but like it's still much more progressive compared to where she's at now. Yeah, and she struggles with it all the time because she's mouthy for one. Like she's got a mouth on her. She stands up for herself. She stands up for her husband. She sometimes will try to speak for her husband, and it's just because he's so soft spoken.
Yeah,
and
that she doesn't want him to get like
walked all over. Which we'll get to that, but. She's basically like she's struggling with the whole like seen and not heard aspect of everything. And Abitha and Edward live in the wild, like kind of in the wild, I guess.
Wild, they do.
They have a farm out in the middle.
It's on the outskirts of the village, like almost into like the main like capital, I guess. Not. I
mean, it's just
but there because there's not states. I don't think really truly
not
yet.
Quite.
It's still like very much like land and like maybe like
just discovered,
kind of like a county, like because I feel like the next town over is like the city, the capital, right?
Yeah.
It starts with an H.
The main part is that they are kind of removed from the community. Like their farm is like one of the farthest farms away from town. And it is one of 2 farms in Edward's family's name.
And they're like their father. So there's Edward in the village or town, and he has a brother.
Wallace.
And Wallace. And their father was one of the originating like founders of Sutton. Right?
Like he fought the natives, like he helped establish.
He stole the land from the Native Americans.
Yeah. When he passed away, he left the farms. He had 2, well, he had like their main farm that they had started, and then he kind of branched off and started this like side farm. And Wallace is the eldest brother. Edward is the youngest. He left the farms to both of them respectively. So Wallace took like the bigger, more established farm, and then he gave Edward the less established farm.
But it's still in his name.
Still in his name.
And so there's custody issues going on about the land. And he didn't give it. He's making his brother pay for it over years' time. And he's almost paid off his own land that was gifted to him from his father to his brother.
Yeah.
Because that's how fucked up his brother is.
Yeah, and so the thing too is like they're paying in bushels of corn. So his crops are corn, and then he has some beehives.
And they sell it in that main town.
Yeah, they'll trade it for stuff.
But Edward's been beekeeping the last couple of years, and he doesn't have that many bees. I think it's like 1 hive.
Yeah.
But he's like getting better and better at it. Like he's trying to grow the hive.
And Wallace had also Wallace had made like a bad decision where he was trying to grow tobacco. Like he wanted to try to make more money, and so he was like, there's big money in tobacco. But the problem is like in their area and their climate, tobacco
or something, right?
It's either that
the
or
ground
it's like,
is like not good for tobacco crop.
Yeah. And so he pretty much like spent all of this money and then leveraged Edward's farm.
Oh my God.
So obviously it was a bad financial decision, didn't work out. And so Wallace shows up to Edward and Abitha's farm, and he's like,
he
hey
owes
guys.
Lord or the magistrate.
Yeah,
or
he owes the magistrate. And so he shows up to the farm, and this is where we get context on how Edward and Wallace are, like how you find out like what kind of a person Wallace is.
So he shows up at the property with all this bad news. It's late at night. He helps himself to the last bit of like their meat, which they have none because they're waiting on the crop to come through to sell, to have money to buy rations of things that'll last them the whole year. So he eats the rest of that, drinks the last of like their homemade beer, which they don't have the ingredient. Again, they're like tapped on everything, like low stock, barely scraping by. And he comes in and just helps himself all to it. Kicks up his fucking feet on their table and is like, sit down, like I have some bad news to tell you, and like I expect you to cater to me and understand and not be offended when I come to you with my poor decisions.
And he's speaking all to Edward with this too. Another thing that's kind of like hitting them, like not only is Wallace eating all their shit, but their goat, we talked about in the beginning how that creature ate their goat, and how he could hear Abitha searching for the goat. Yeah. And
which he didn't even know he just ate.
Yeah, I didn't like he literally has no idea what it is, who she is, like what's going on.
Yeah.
And she did like, because he's like in this cave, like in a hole in the ground. So there's like a cave, and then deeper
it drops
into
off.
The cave it's like a drop off. And so she did like go in there and kind of look, and she's thinking like, oh, you dumbass animal, you fell in the hole. Like she could hear shuffling around at the bottom of this like cave.
But she's also kind of scared. Like she feels like something's off about the cave. Right. She doesn't trust it. She thought she heard something.
Yeah.
She did. She just doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. And so she's kind of like, nope. And she's like, I'm gonna I'll come back with Edward, and like, maybe we'll have to like fish the goat out.
She's like, oh, you fell down there. You're either dead or your back is broken, and you're gonna be no good to us regardless.
Yeah.
But they're so desperate times. She's like, is there a way for me to fetch the body so we can like eat the meat? Like,
eat it, yeah.
I could never imagine living like that.
Yeah.
and our ancestors, all of us had to, like,
Yeah.
we are so
We're lucky,
but then we're
also not. Yeah, there's like a lot going on.
It's like every generation has like their own thing that fucking sucks. Anyway.
So yeah, circling back to Wallace and his visit. So Wallace sits down and he's talking to Edward throughout all of this, expecting Abitha to feed him and all this other shit. And he's talking to Edward and he's like, so hey, I made a mistake. He's like, so you know that, you know, it was Father's wish to keep the farm in our name, and like, you know that he wanted us to grow tobacco, and like even his dad like couldn't have known. I mean, I think he did, like, I mean, they were like, his dad and Wallace were like tight knit, and his dad had it in his head that he wanted to grow tobacco. So Wallace was like, we have to grow tobacco, even though there were lots of people that did tell them like, this is not the area for it. And I'm pretty sure Edward was one of them.
Yeah.
But they didn't listen. So dear old dad's dead. Wallace.
But like, what could he possibly know?
Yeah. Wallace.
Because Wallace is so smart and he knows what's best for everybody.
So he's like, so listen, I have a friend in town. I'm friends with the magistrate, and you know, we kind of worked it out. And in order to pay off my debt that I have, like that I acquired trying to grow tobacco, I leveraged the farm. And at first they're kind of like, oh no, well, I mean, I guess there's room out here, you know, we could help you build a house. And he was like, no. I leveraged your farm, Edward. And Edward and like Abitha right off the rip is like, what the fuck? What are you
literally
talking about?
It's not your fucking farm to leverage.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And Wallace
and he's
like,
I
wasn't talking to you.
Shut your fucking bitch's mouth.
Yeah. Can you control your woman?
Control your woman. And he's like, actually, I can, because it's not yours yet.
Yeah. And Edward is kind of like, please, let me handle this, you know? But he's like so sweet. And so he's kind of like, brother, like, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? He's like, this is my farm. You gave it to me. It was mine by birthright. I've been working this land. I've been working to pay you off. We have one season left. Like, that's all they have is one growing season left. And the payment. The farm is literally theirs. Nobody can come take it from them. Nothing is stopping them from doing whatever they want with this farm. And Wallace is kind of like, see, it's out of my hands. Like, I already promised the magistrate, and you know, it is what it is. And Edward does kind of speak up here. He's like, no. He's like, that's not how it is. He's like, I've worked so hard. Abitha and I have worked so hard. We tilled the land. We planted the crops. We've been on time every single year with our payment. He's like, you can't do this to us. And you know, and Abitha like speaks up too, and she says the same thing. She's like, you didn't do any of this work. You're the dumbass. You're the one who tried to grow tobacco, even though so many people told you not to do it. So she's pissed, but like he's like, if you don't control your woman, I will backhand her across the mouth. And Edward's like, Abitha, please, like, let me handle this. And so he's like, whatever, it's a done deal, right? I've already got the paperwork in order. This coming Sunday, you're going to sign it, and you're going to sign the farm over to the magistrate. And they're kind of like, where are we supposed to go?
Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to do? And he's like, well, the magistrate did say that, like, you know, you guys could stay on the land, but you would have to pay him. So basically your debt would start completely over. And then
like another, it's like 15 years or something.
So he's like, yeah, in 15 years, the land will be yours. And they're like, no, that's not going to work. And so he's like, well, it is what it is. You have no choice. Edward see reason. And, you know, he has a way of like talking to his brother, and his brother usually gives into these things. And so Wallace goes home.
Hartford.
Okay, Hartford. So Wallace goes home, and Abitha and Edward are like, what the fuck? And so Abitha is kind of like, we're not doing this. We're not going to roll over and let him take what is yours.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Ours.
I mean, yeah, she does respect respect Edward for the most part. Like, she just knows that he's such a sweet, soft-spoken person. So she's like, they spend all night working on like a speech,
getting all the language right, who he needs to like be around, who he needs to approach.
Yeah.
Because Wallace is going to take over the situation.
Abitha,
so
like,
shitty.
Since like her weird run-in that she had, like not run-in, but like her weird, she went to that cave where the beast woke up, and like she's kind of feeling funky, but she's more so worried about like, one, losing their farm, but also she's
Like,
worried
the goat.
about the fact that the goat's gone. Like, there's just, like, she can tell that something is off, but she doesn't really have time to dwell on it right now because, like, they're literally about to lose everything. So, like,
and
Morgan...
she's trying to figure out, like, because there was a brief talk of they would pay the magistrate for 15 years, and they're like, wait, like, why do we have to reassume the entire loan and debt?
Well,
also,
this one's more than what they had to, because...
Yeah, because it's, like, plus... It's a whole new principal and interest. And then it's like, was there ever mention about them potentially, like, moving in with Wallace and that family? I don't know why that's ringing a bell, but it's also not.
I feel like he did say that. I think he had... No, because he had pretty much was using them to pay off his debts.
Yeah.
Because he's friends with this magistrate, which we kind of get, like, a little bit of their conversation later. But... I don't think that they were never invited to stay with him.
Yeah, so he's friends with
this magistrate. Douchebag. He doesn't even live in their town. He lives, like, a few towns over.
Hartford, right?
Yeah, Hartford. That's right, Hartford.
I think it ends up being what would be literally Hartford, Connecticut, because we're, like, over there in the 13 colonies.
Yeah.
Because part of, and I know we'll touch upon later, but the insanity that surrounds that of, like, the Salem witch trials and the actual true evidence of those stories, because there's so many misconceptions, but Brom does pull, like, the actual, I keep wanting to say artifact, it's not, but, like, the true story, the true evidence.
Like the history.
The true history of what happened kind of into this with, like, these women and the stocks and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, especially when we get to, like, the trial and, like, the torture aspect of it, like...
So fucked up.
So fucked up and just cruel, and just... It's really insane when you actually think about it, but yeah, we'll get there.
They knew it was insane for the times. They just, like, allowed the community to run with it. There is no way... because we haven't even really advanced that much as a civilization in 300 years. So,
I mean, we've come a long way from, like, this to that comparatively, but, like, there's still a lot of setbacks that we have. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of setbacks that we have, like, today too. And it's like, it hasn't been that long, but it's also been plenty of time for us to get some of our shit together. We shouldn't still be dealing with half of the shit that we're dealing with, but, you know. It is what it is. So Abitha and Edward, her husband, spend pretty much all night preparing the night before Sunday. They're going to go to church and
have a discussion with the other reverend.
The reverend. So, like, the Reverend
Carter, Reverend Smith.
Yeah. There's, like, a few others, but they're not named. But there's, like, I want to say there's, like, 4 or 5 of them in total, and they're kind of like the town council. They... Whatever, like, they most say respected
goes. Yes, like the authority.
Yeah, they're the authority
because it's very much church is mixed with state.
Well, they go to church, and right off, like, from the beginning, you can kind of tell that, like, the town is very distrusting of Abitha. She's an outsider. She's from a different country. She's known to be kind of mouthy, I guess. Like, she has no problem, like, speaking her mind, which is unheard of for women in those times. She also has been known to make, like, little charms or, like, little potions or poultices.
It's
or
like
something
apothecary,
like that. Yeah, just apothecary. Yeah,
she's very natural herbalist.
Yeah, she's from the very Christian. Beginning. Yeah, she's very adamant, like, even in her own, like, inner monologue, that it is not witchcraft. She's like, I'm not a witch. I'm not a witch.
I don't deal with the devil.
She kind of hints that, like, her mother was, like, a cunning woman. And there are some things, like, we kind of get, like, little bits and pieces of some of her backstory as well. We know that her mother died, and her father, as a result, kind of, like, descended into kind of madness, similar to, like, Thomas and Wilhelmine's dad. He got just, like, super religious and was, like, he at first seemed to be pretty accepting of, like, the fact that she did practice some magic. But
told her to. He was always telling her to stop.
He was always telling her to stop, but as a result of it, she died.
And that
sent him into this spiral. Yeah. And so
her soul wasn't safe. She was going to end up in hell.
Yeah.
Like all this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember.
And he burned all of her mother's things, like everything that she had, anything that wasn't related to like the Bible or God, or I mean, actually, yeah, he got rid of her clothes, like he got rid of everything of hers.
Mm-hmm. And Wallace thinks he's gonna get everything like signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah.
On the transaction. But the night before, Edward and Abitha stayed up pretty much like all night long, rehearsing exactly what he's going to say to decline and oppose the offer.
And they're also bringing like their original contract that they're supposed to fulfill before he's even allowed to do that. And so before they talk with the reverends, they go to church, and we kind of are introduced to a few different characters. Like there's kind of like the women of the town, and they're kind of like very high and mighty. They look down on Abitha. Like they like Edward just fine. But Abitha is like this fiery redhead. Like she's got a mouth on her, and
her hair always slips out of her thing. Well, not all of her hair, but a bang.
Yeah. And Abitha is like, she's like, okay, I cannot run my mouth today. Like we need everything to go perfectly. So she's kind of trying to stay on her best behavior. The women of the town are just very snooty, like very bitchy. Like they just are kind of talking shit. And then we're also introduced to this other character who kind of becomes important later, and his name is Ansel. And he's kind of like the town crazy skeptic. Like he's just very obsessed with finding what he says are like agents of the devil. So he'll say like he was late to church, and if you're late, like you get reprimanded. And so they're kind of like, why were you late? And he's like, well,
this time.
Yeah, why this time were you late? And he's like, oh, I was following after this like black cat that I thought was an agent of the devil. And like Reverend Carter is kind of like, okay, dude, like it's so interesting.
How many agents of the devil do you run across on a daily basis?
He's like, because this is like what, the 5th one this week. And so Abitha is also like placed. So there's like a seating arrangement in church where, because
it goes by hierarchy, right?
Yeah, it's like hierarchy. So like Wallace and Edward are able to sit like on the right side of the church. Like if you're looking...
Well, with the men.
Yeah, with the men.
Women sit with women. Yeah,
that's right. Women sit with the women.
Back of the women.
But, she's in the back with like the servants and stuff like that. Because of her, like, yes, she might be married to someone in the village, but at the same time, she's still an outsider. Doesn't matter that she's married to like a well-respected family. She does kind of talk to like this one woman who's like a servant, and she gives her a little charm. And we kind of figure out that this woman is like in love with Wallace's eldest son. So Abitha kind of is like, this town kind of barters. Spell. Yeah, it's like a little love thing where she's like, yes, if you put it under your bed, he'll kind of come to his senses and he'll fall in love with you. But like at the end of the day, like she kind of like, she could tell that they son had like a thing for her too. So she's kind of like, it is what it is. Like if I can get a little something out of it, then there's really no harm in it. Like they already have a feelings for each other. They go through the sermon. And by the way, church is like 3-4 hours long. Each reverend gets up there and speaks for like an hour each. Yeah, they have like a timer, and she's just like, bro, this is so boring. But there's like
no airflow.
Yeah, and she said it's so strange here because, yes, where she's from, they do center their life around God. But she's like, here is like a whole other level of just, she's like, I don't even want to call it like religion. It's just like, it's insane here. And so church is over. They all go outside, and Wallace is already waiting with like the reverends.
Oh, and if you fall asleep in church, or like you're distracted and not paying attention to literally like every word that is coming off of a reverend's tongue, there's like a guy that comes over and like hits you in the head with like a giant like stick to get you back focusing.
Yeah. We also meet Reverend Carter's wife, who becomes
Sarah.
I love Sarah. Towards the end, like her, I can't even get into that right now. That's for part 2. But Sarah is the Reverend's wife, and she seems very strict in like when we first meet her, she's very strict, and she's like, don't let me see you passing out those things again. If I see you doing that, I will tell my husband.
And you will go to the
stocks. And so there's that conversation that happens. And so Abitha's on the outskirts of like the men talking, and she can hear Edward saying what he needs to say, where he's basically again reiterating, look, this is the contract that we signed. We have 1 season left to pay off our debts. And he's kind of saying, like, if we're behind, if for some reason we're behind, fine, we'll concede.
Can't make it.
Or we can't make it. We'll concede and we'll do whatever you ask. But he's like, please give us the original contract that, like, the magistrate has no rights to be able to come in here and do this. This is a binding agreement. We can't do this. Like, like, legally, you cannot do this.
Yeah. And Wallace is like, where did this come from? Where is this change?
He's like, immediately,
why are
like, your
you
wife,
she
put this in your mind. She poisoned your mind. That silver tongue fucking wench or whatever, you know, he's like going straight for Abitha. And Abitha's kind of like, I'm just standing here. But she's also kind of like, yes. And in a way, she did give Edward the bravery he needed,
like the courage
to speak up, and because he doesn't want this to happen either. And so,
well, it's just they'll have nothing.
And
everything that they've worked really hard for. And she's only been around, what was it, like 5 years or so at this point? He already put in 10 years of work almost before
she was able to come and help him.
Came to help him, and he does everything. That's like a lot of work, blood, sweat, tears, hours, labor, back pain, like whatever, however cost you want to like round it up to. But she's like, he deserves that.
He's such a sweet guy too. And so I think that's why his brother thought he could just walk all over him. And, you know, he's very soft-spoken, and it sounds like their father...
He usually is a pushover, I think.
Yeah. Well, their father used to go extra... Like, he was very rough on Edward because Edward was so soft-spoken. But Edward also really liked art, and his dad, I guess, like, used to beat him for it. And Edward finally, like, he stands up for himself. He's like, no, we cannot do this. And
the reverends are like, we agree.
Yeah, you're right. We should at least honor the agreement. And if you don't fulfill it, then yes, you have to give up the farm in that situation. But we also learned that the reverend does not fuck with the magistrate. They do have history, but it's not quite revealed quite yet. But he does say, like, I don't like the way that the magistrate does things. This is not his town.
Yeah, It's almost like you can tell, like, just from the words spoken, that he's kind of like a dictator.
Yeah.
And that's not how the new country is being formed.
Yeah, so he is kind of like, like, we're going to go ahead and let Edward, and we're going to give Edward and Abitha their chance. And, we'll see how it goes. And so Edward and Abitha are like, thank you so much. Wallace does not hold his tongue. He's very pissed. He's like, you cannot do this to me. You're going to ruin me. Why would you do this to me? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
why are you letting your wife?
Yeah, why is she running your house? Like, you're the man of the house. And Edward's like, yeah, but I agree. She's right. We're both right. So, oh well. So, we know Wallace is pissed. He's like, you're going to regret this. He's like, very just like, he's such a fucking asshole. I cannot stand Wallace.
Like, he immediately is like, I'm coming for you to Abitha. Like, even right in front of Edward. Everybody. He doesn't care.
Yeah, everybody. And the reverend's like, you need to chill out.
Yeah.
He's like,
otherwise you're going to end up in the stocks.
Yeah, we're going to have some words with you.
Yeah. And then he's like, basically, fuck you guys. I'll get Magistrate Watson, and we'll just see how this goes. And we know how much you guys don't like each other. And so, like, immediately it's just like drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
Yeah. And it's evening time. Edward and Abitha are, like, kind of celebrating. She made him some, like, biscuits and, like, honey. Or, like, they had, like, some honey, or she had, like, something that she had traded for to kind of sweeten, like, their usual, kind of plain meal or whatever. They feel more at ease. They do still have the goat to deal with, but they're kind of like, that's a problem for tomorrow. And like I said,
we accomplished what we set out to do today. And
Abitha's like, I'm so proud of you, babe. Like, you did amazing. And he, like I said earlier, Edward is an artist. He likes to draw. And so he has like these little pages of like the Bible that his dad had like made him study, but he uses them as he draws, like he sketches. And so he kind of sets to work like sketching Abitha, and like they kind of have like this cute little moment where you kind of figure out like,
she's like, draw me like one of your naked French girls.
It's actually so cute though, because like they have like this really sweet night together where they're like, we feel good,
but also that's not allowed, like in this Puritan community,
drawing.
like you're not supposed to look at your wife that way. Like sex is very much like a business transaction.
Yeah, like they're not even allowed to have like their hair out in front of their husband.
You're not allowed to like gaze at your husband or wife. You're not allowed to like be erotic. Like that's not okay, which is like blows my mind. So very much having like a loving, sensual, sexual, aroused relationship with your husband or wife is not okay.
It's taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's the thing too, is like we kind of get like how just truly how amazing of a husband he was, especially for that time period, where it's like when they're at home, like he's like he doesn't get after her to like put her hair up or whatever. Like he likes her hair, like he loves her hair.
And they live on the outskirts, so
so nobody like there's no neighbors. So,
exactly.
Like, nobody,
because if they lived actually in Sutton, that's how those people were back in the day. It was like very much like snooping around, what's going on in other people's homes, like what can I basically narc on somebody else for to get them put in the stocks. Like that's like what people like lived for.
Yeah.
The drama.
Yeah, they love to point the finger, especially if it like put them in a better light to not
to, like
be
get
put
ahead
in that position too. Yeah. And yeah, so like I said, they have like a really sweet night together, and yeah, Edward was just a great husband. And then they wake up and they go about their day, and Abitha is like, we need to go get the goat. Like we have to have that goat. We have no choice. And so Edward goes with her up the mountain, like, or into the woods, like kind of up in the mountains. And before we kind of continue with that part, we need to go back to this creature that we met in the beginning. And the creature is being stirred awake again by these little childlike voices. And they're like, Father, you need to wake up. It's time to wake up. And he's like, dude, I want to sleep. Leave me alone. And they're like, no, Father, like, we need to, like, we need to feast. You need to
get your strength.
Get your strength up. Like the
blood.
Yeah, blood. And like they say like the
summing
tree,
it up. We're
the
summing
sapling.
it up.
Yeah, and so they kind of are explaining about like this like sapling.
They're like, we need to bring blood to Papa.
Yeah, to like, Papa, which they call, so it's like this red leaf tree.
That's literally still a sapling.
Yeah.
And as time progresses, we're going to learn more about what this tree symbolizes, what it's capable of. The goat creature is Father. The sapling was and hopefully will become Father. And then there's Mother Earth, right? So it's very much like...
Yeah, this is where I'm like, it's not like
folklore.
Devil, demon,
no,
like I thought it was going to be. It's almost like fae, like fae creatures.
Yeah.
Because if you
like folklore.
Yeah. And most like situations with like the fae and all that, they're not all like the hot, like fae that we read about like in like other books.
Yeah.
This is like, most fae creatures are like these combinations of like different things where like they look scary.
They have... Yes, they're scary, but they also have humanistic features.
Yeah.
Which you'll see. We will show you guys. These illustrations are so wild. They're so cool.
So Father is kind of like, he's still very reluctant to get up. He just wants to be left alone. But they're kind of like these little creatures are sitting there and they're talking to him. And the first one he sees is...
So there's forest, river, sky.
And they have children's voices. So they have like, they're a mixture of like what looks to be like a child. And so Forest is like a mix between a child and an opossum.
But the whole, like the possum, as if each of the creatures' mouths was wide open. The childlike head sits within the mouth of the creature.
Yeah.
And the creature has like tons of like fangy teeth.
Then you've also got Creek, and it's like it's like a combination of a fish and a child.
A human. But he like floats, so he
swims
like floats
like through the air.
Yeah, in the air.
Yeah.
But he's a fish, so it's swimming.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's
it's so cool.
Sky, who would be like a combination again of like the human
and a crow,
and
right?
A crow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I love
he just
that.
like kind of flitters about, and they all have like these little cute little voices.
Yeah.
But they're over here like kill, maim,
feed,
destroy,
blood.
And they pretty much paint a picture of like humans, and they're like, can you smell them? Like, you can smell them. They've destroyed the land. They've cleared the valley.
They've stolen all of our magic.
Yeah, they stole all of our magic. Like, they're trying to push him to kill and hate humans.
Yeah.
But through that, he would drink their blood, and then he gets stronger. And so
But it's also like whatever he, in the beginning, whatever he eats, he's morphing into. Yeah. So he's eaten this goat, and then he starts to like transform into goat.
Into a goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh, look, here comes two of them now. And so that would be Abitha and Edward.
Yeah,
and
so they can hear this conversation like going on in the forest or the woods.
Yeah.
And it's kind of coming like both point of views, right? So like Abitha and Edward are having this conversation, and then when you're zoned into the creature and like these children of the forest, you hear the third-hand conversation happening between Abitha and Edward as if you were with the creatures down in this cave. So it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah. And so like...
Did I say that right?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's perfect. Because, Abitha and Edward kind of start arguing a little bit because he's kind of poking fun at her. Because she's like...
About the goat, right?
Stupid goat. Yeah. Fell down a hole. And Edward is like,
and broke his
hole. Like, what are you talking about? And he's just kind of like poking fun at her. And she's like, you know what?
She's getting
you can handle this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to the farm.
And she's like, yeah, and try not to fucking die.
Yeah.
In the cave.
And he's like, babe, like, come on. And he's like, it's okay. I'll get the goat. And so she walks away, and he's just kind of like, Abitha, that's so silly. Like, my sweet, darling little thing. And he goes towards the cave where she said that the goat fell, and she's like, there's something not right about this area. Like, we shouldn't be around here. Like, let's just honestly fuck it to the goat. And he's like, no, like, we need the goat.
Yeah.
So he's kind of thinking like, haha, I'm gonna get the goat and
everything's gonna be
fine. And so he's going forward. The creature is hearing him and smelling him coming forward, and then
is it Creek?
It's
Creek and Forest again, right?
Yeah. And they go up, and Edward thinks it's like rats coming up. Isn't that what it was? Like, he thought it was like rats or mice.
Or bat, something.
Yeah. So he's like kind of in there on his belly trying to look into this hole, and then...
But he doesn't quite see it, right?
Can't quite see it until...
It's too late.
And like he's like...
Face to face with one of these like
the
creatures.
Little creatures.
I'm pretty sure it's Creek.
I think so too, because he's like a fish, like
fucking floating with the...
What? This doesn't make any sense.
He just sees the face of the child at first, but then it's saying some like demonic like shit. Yeah. And then they're like giggling. They love to like giggle. Yeah. And then he sees it come into play like that. The whole trying to digest the whole image of like what it is, and that startles him, and then that's when he falls, right? Is that how that happens?
Yeah, that's what happens, because he startles and then he falls into the hole.
Yes, fucking dead right away. Yeah. By the way, there's like no surviving that.
Well, he's definitely hurt, but he's like aware enough that like when Father comes forward and Father like smells his blood, he starts just starts feasting on him, and then Edward just dies.
Well, didn't he like rip out his like all of his intestines and stuff?
Yeah, he like pretty much ripped him apart.
The main creature that we know as Father starts like transforming into human.
Yeah.
So now he's like...
He's kind of got like the chest and hands of like a
man.
A man.
Still and like has, kind of a face, but the facial features are all goat.
Yeah, but it's also kind of like... like flattened almost.
Yes.
Like it's not like an elongated snout like they have.
and
Again, we'll show
like
the picture.
Horns,
so
and then like
see.
the lower half is like goat for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of like, as he's feasting, he kind of is starting to remember little pieces of like who he is, but it's not enough
more questions
for him
then.
to understand. Yeah. And he can hear Abitha coming back, and she's like calling for Edward, and they do come out of the hole for like a minute.
The creatures, right?
The creatures, yeah. So all four of them at this point, even Father, come up.
And they want him to like get her right away.
Kill her.
Like get Abitha. Well, they don't know her name, but like get her. Like let's get her. Let's go.
Yeah. And I don't think she sees them quite yet. It's not until like later that she sees them. But she can tell that Edward has fallen into the hole.
Yeah.
And so she's panicking. She's terrified. Like, oh my God, Edward, like how am I gonna get him out of there? Like she doesn't know what she's gonna do.
She's calling and like nothing.
Calling for him, nothing. She can't even hear him whimpering, nothing. And the Father is looking at Abitha, and he can kind of tell like there's something about her, right? Where he's like,
something's off.
I want to maim her, but I also don't want to maim her. And so at this time, fucking Wallace is riding up on his little fucking horse, because the night before he traveled to the magistrate, and he's like, yo, they're not going to let you, like they're not going to follow through with our agreement. And the magistrate is kind of like, oh, that's unfortunate, because like
so it looks like you're gonna have to pay me.
Yeah, you got to figure something out.
Yeah, I'm sure you're smart, dude. You'll figure it out.
And so he's kind of like, you know what? Because I like you, and I liked your father, I'll give you a little more time to figure this out and to convince them. And so Wallace is kind of like, thank you. Appreciate you. And so he's going to try to ride there to try to talk them into, again, honoring his agreement. And he gets there, and then he can hear Abitha is like screaming. She's beside herself. He goes to the cave, and she kind of explains like what happened, and he's like, oh my God, my brother. And he's kind of like calling for him. Again, like it's too far down. There's not enough rope. And she's kind of like, I'm going to go get rope. He's like, there's not enough rope. We figure out the whole, like,
didn't they need to get a couple different ropes?
Yeah, they tried to get a couple different ropes. It just wasn't long enough.
And then it was pretty much, they were coming to the conclusion that everybody else will die trying to get the body, and they need to close off the cave and turn that into Edward's tomb, essentially, and that needs to be his resting place. So they should hold a funeral on the grounds and start planning for like that.
Yeah, so they have the funeral. Abitha is devastated. Like
she loved him, and she knew she loved him, but I don't think she realized how much she loved him until he was gone. And then, of course, she's like going over in her mind, like over and over and over again, like the last words that they had, because it was like a stupid fight when she's like, don't die, you know, and then he fucking dies.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And you're like, bro, immediately you got to cut him out, like cut him out of the story like
really
that.
Really sad. Like I was pretty sad too. I was like, oh, poor Edward. Like,
I know. I was like, well, now she's really fucked, because she's like this outsider. Like her only in was her husband.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, oh God, like, how's this going to work? Are they going to let her keep her land? Like of the times, is that going to be possible? Like, she doesn't even like fit in this community. Can she go back home? Like, there's just so many questions where I'm like, this is going to like get sticky.
Yeah.
It's
really sad. And when they have the funeral, all they have, like, they bury a coffin, but all the coffin has is like a pair of his clothes.
Like a tooth?
I think it might have been a tooth, because I think they had found,
like, something happened.
Yeah.
Where he got hurt. And something was left before he fell in the hole. Was it? I think it was like a tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was something like that. Yeah. Where like his.
Now I'm curious. Well, we'll talk and maybe I can find it.
So throughout all of this, Wallace, his brother's, you know, barely been put to rest. And he's already thinking like, well, hey, this is my in to get that farm.
Because
And
now
so-
that's mine.
Yeah.
It's not hers. And Edward's no longer here, so it's mine.
Yeah, so his mindset is that, like, it was Edward's. Edward died, so now it reverts back to me. And so the reverends kind of pull her aside after the funeral, and Wallace is there. And Wallace is, like, painting himself to be, like, the concerned brother-in-law. And he's like, you won't be able to run that place on your own. You're going to need me to take care of it. Like, you know, he says, you can move in and work as, like, a servant in my quarters. Like, I'll house you and all this stuff. And she's like, no, absolutely not. This was not what Edward wanted. And the reverends are kind of mulling this over, and they're like, well, I mean, everything that Edward has, because she's his wife by law, it does go to her. She's the widow. And the farm is not yours,
and
Wallace.
She can proceed with doing anything that would be in Edward's,
like, best interest, like what he had wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, she can act as his proxy.
Yeah.
And so she essentially becomes him for transactional purposes, which benefits her. Language, speaking out, like, it actually ends up aligning more with, like, her personality as well, where I'm like, good for you that they're kind of, like, allowing this, because Wallace freaks out and he's like, don't fucking talk to me like that.
Yeah, he loses his shit again. And
you're going to go in the stocks. And then they're like, the reverends are like,
no,
actually, no, she's not. And you need to stop her. You're going to be the one disciplined.
Yeah. And the reverend does say, like, hey, we suggest you take Wallace's offer at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no shame in it. Like, everything's okay.
Yeah.
But Abitha is, like, dead set on, like, absolutely not. I'm going to see this through. And so they're kind of like, look, we warned you, right? Like, obviously the law's on your side. Like, everything else is on your side. We did warn you. Was it his tooth?
The small casket landed with a hollow thud, as there was only a set of Edward's clothing within, along with his hat and a tooth wrapped in white linen.
Yeah.
The tooth being included at Abitha's instance. So we got that spot on. I was like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know why in the beginning I thought an ear, but yeah, it's a tooth.
Yeah, so he
his only piece of body. Anyways.
So she's kind of like, as soon as, like, it's agreed that she has to pay on time.
Yeah.
If she doesn't pay on time, then yes, everything goes back to Wallace. Just same deal as before. So,
but then that's not even good enough. So he wants to push it a little bit further. So not only if she defaults, but then she has to, like, work off what he would essentially lose in the farm, which is like 15 years or something like that. She would have to be his, and I don't want to say slave, but, like, he makes it seem that way. Like, it's supposed to be a servant, but he's like, oh, it's going to be, like, way harder than that. Like, she would have to move in with Wallace, live there for, like, the indefinite future, cater to his every whim, and, like, be punished at the same time, because
to work off a debt.
Yes.
Like, the debt that he is taking on
for the magistrate.
Yeah, for the magistrate.
Because it is his debt.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid. And he's like, oh, well, I'm coming for you. And, like, as soon as you're mine and you're in my house, I am going to teach you, like, all the lessons. You're going to learn what it's like to be a real Puritan woman.
Yeah.
I'm not letting this go. Like, you've literally just
made this worse for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, as Abitha's walking home, and she does have, like, a small kindness given to her by Reverend Carter's wife, where she pulls her to the side. And this is where we kind of figure out that Sarah is actually,
like, pretty dope.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
She says, look, I'm rooting for you. Like,
yeah, I'm, like, in your corner.
I'm in your corner. I'm on your side. If you ever need anything, let me know. And she gives her, what was it? Like, she gives her, like, food, I think, or something to eat. To to kind of tide her over until things get going. Because at this point, like, it's coming out of winter, going into like spring and summer. So she needs to start like planting and getting her crops and stuff like that ready like now in order for it to yield and then be able to pay on time. And so she's like, we're rooting for you. If you ever need anything, let me know. Okay. Yeah. So Abitha goes home and she immediately goes into the barn. She's still devastated, by the way. Like, she's doing all of this, like, crying, sad, depressed, like, very much so in mourning.
But she's like, I've got to figure this out.
I have to figure this
out.
Like,
there's no time to waste.
And so she goes in and they have, like, a mule. But she has to, like, hitch up the mule to...
The plow.
But it's extremely heavy. She's
this like tiny little
small woman, and she's like, I'm strong, but like Edward sometimes needed help with this. Like, Edward also, like, she's like, this is very difficult, and so she's trying to get the mule to cooperate. The mule's not cooperating. She can't lift the bridle, whatever thing, onto the mule because she's also short, and so she's just like, fuck, like, can something just go my way? And she does realize, like, the weight of this decision and this journey she's about to go on. And she's like, I should have just fucking taken him up on his offer.
Like, why do Abitha, like, why do you always have to do that?
Why do you have to always open your mouth?
And, like, that's me. And then I'm like, no. You are doing the right thing.
Yeah. No, and, like, this is exactly what Edward wanted. You're literally fulfilling his wishes.
Yeah. And, like, you and your husband were a good team. Like, keep that going. But in that situation, you're devastated, you're grieving, like, she has no idea what she's doing, like, totally out of her lane, element, you name it. I could totally understand, like, doubt creeping in and being like, I can't even get this fucking thing on the mule to plow. Like, I can't even do the first fucking step.
Yeah.
But then it's all about using brain over bronze.
Well, before that, though, this is like when shit starts to kind of hit the fan for her. So,
that's
she's
when
struggling with this shit, right? So while she's struggling with this, Creek, Sky, and Forest are talking Father into killing Abitha.
Yes. Yeah.
They're like, we need to start with this
from across,
one.
like, the
like, they're watching her struggle,
whatever, right?
Like, they're watching her struggle. They're watching her cry. They can tell that she's
in the across from the field,
sad. Yeah. And they're like, this. It starts with this one.
Yeah.
Remember who you are, Father. Like, they're really trying to get him to remember who he was. And Father's kind of like, again, he's kind of going back into
memory,
and so he's getting like little slivers of like, he can remember killing and like maiming and stuff like that,
screams, blood, people.
But then he also is like there's something kind of tickling,
seems off.
Yeah, so he's like, he still is not understanding. They're like, well, we just need to get some more blood in you. Yeah. So they're like, kill the woman. Yeah. Right. So
and he's like, yeah,
okay, yeah, like let's do that. Yeah. So as Abitha is struggling with this fucking mule and the plow, she hears something coming from like in the back of the barn, and she's like kind of looking, trying to see what's going on, and then like she sees the fish. So Creek. Yeah, I keep on calling her.
I'm me too.
So Creek comes swimming out, and she's like, "Okay,
you say I don't know what you're
lost
talking about.
My shit." Because
she's like, nah, "What? I'm hallucinating."
There's a fish coming out, and then she sees like the possum, and they're kind of like beating her, and they're like just kind of fucking with her, trying to like kind of push her back, and then she turns around and sees
this goat man,
and she's like, "Oh my god, like." The devil. You're the devil.
Yes.
And as they like kind of make eye contact, he is like, they both have like a shared vision of blood, screams, maiming. Yes. But then spiders come and it freaks both of them out. Yeah. Like, they're both like, what the fuck? Spiders. She like takes off, goes into the house.
And then he feels like he's getting consumed by literally millions of spiders. And they're, like, taking him into this, like, hole, right?
But, like, he also is, like, he's like, what was that? Like, there's something not right about this woman. And even, like, the Creek and Forest is kind of, like, the ringleader of, like, Creek and Sky.
Yeah.
And he's kind of, like, the spokesperson for them. But he's kind of, like, we need to do away with her. There's something not right with her. Like, I
Right.
don't know. Like, but he's like, it's okay. We'll get her next time. You know,
Yeah.
we'll lure her in again.
Yeah.
And we'll kill her.
Yeah.
And so Abitha's like inside.
But now father
is kind of like
just has like all these questions.
Yeah,
now.
He's got millions of questions because he's trying to figure out who he is, and
he's very obsessed with connecting dots because again, he's just woken up from. He has no idea about anything.
Yeah,
like
no
what's
idea.
Up, down, like who the fuck.
But he's like, at this point, he's desperate to figure out who he is. Like, he does want to know, like, what happened. So he kind of is like, I'll handle this with, like, the woman. So Abitha spends the night terrified. She's, like, got her musket. She's, like, barricaded the door.
Yeah.
She has
like,
this little
coming
cat.
back.
She has this little cat that, like, has like one eye and its like spine is all crooked, and she had nursed it back to health when he was like a kitten. And so it's like her little companion. And so the one thing that she had been able to keep when her mom had passed before her dad burned everything that she had was this braid of hair, and it's made up of like
it's pretty small.
It's
small enough to go like a necklace.
On like a necklace, but but it's like little pieces of hair
from every single
woman in her family line
and her mother's like the woman lineage.
Yeah. And she's trying to remember back on like what little knowledge she does have. Like her mom did 12. Teach her some things. Yeah. Her mom taught her some things when it came to not devils. She just kind of talks about like the wild folk and how they can be menacing creatures, but there's also ways to appease them, right? You leave them like milk or like little...
There's different, I guess you could say, she taught her about different, almost like civilizations of folklore people. And like, there's all sorts of different kinds. And like, for the fairies, you do this. For the more ominous ones, like she's picturing as creek and forest and sky, you need like little gifts. Or maybe that was the milk.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
different remedies to keep them happy.
Yeah.
So that way they bother everybody else but you.
Yeah. And so she's still she's very terrified, but she kind of like whenever she like either she puts on like the necklace or she like wears it or like she touches it, she can kind of like hear her mother speaking through this as like a guide for what she needs to do. And so she kind of thinks of it as like
it's a connection.
It's a connection to her mother and to all of her ancestors before her.
Yeah, when she like needs to call upon them.
Yeah, and so she's kind of using it not only as like that, but also as comfort.
Yes.
And so she like normally she has it hidden behind
it's like a pacifier or blanket.
Yeah, like a cubby or something like that. But she's holding on to it as like, okay, I have my mom here. Like, okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
So next morning, she like kind of like creaks open the door. Father, he's there, right? He's like kind of sitting outside. Yeah. And he's just waiting for her. And she's like, are you the devil? Like, are you here to trick me? Are you here to, like, make me stray off my path with God? And he's kind of like, devil? Like, who's this like, Satan that you talk about?
Yeah, who's Satan? Who's
like,
the devil?
I don't even know who I am.
Who's God?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
He's like, I have no idea.
Am I?
Yeah. What's going on?
Can you tell me?
Yeah.
So he immediately goes into, like, oh, she can answer questions like, about me.
Who am I?
Please, like, tell me.
And she was like, I think you're the devil. And he was like, but that doesn't sound right. Like, it doesn't sound like me. And so he kind of gets frustrated, and he was like, he kind of like storms off.
Yeah.
And she's like,
what the fuck
is going on? So we kind of get like some little things happen here or there, but she does kind of figure out how to like put the plow on the mule. She does start working her ass off to
plant,
plows the field, plants the seeds, and it's a dry spring summer, so like no rain has come, nothing is growing.
Yeah.
She is literally hauling buckets of water and
from the
watering her
from
fields.
the cellar or
from the well.
From the well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverend Carter has given her permission to stay home.
Like a leave
a leave of absence to get her stuff in order and like get what she needs to get done. But he's like, you have don't push me, you know. Yeah. So like Wallace every now and then comes in and is kind of spying on her. He sees that she's just like haggard. She's starving. She's like weak and frail.
She doesn't look good.
She doesn't look good. Nothing is growing. And he's kind of like, oh, okay, like I
got this. This is like
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so again, she's still very much so depressed. She's feeling really down on herself. She's like terrified that this is not going to work out. She's like, I'm going to look so stupid.
Yeah.
And there's a point where she's like, I want to quit.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, so then Father comes out from the woods again. And
they're both kind of meeting when they're both like down.
Yeah.
They're both like, fuck.
Yeah. Father keeps getting like these visions of the spiders. He's terrified of the spiders.
Yeah.
Abitha kind of has it every now and then, but she's got bigger fish to fry in this situation. Forrest.
They're both curious about one another. Yeah. Because she's still like every day she's like, where'd that fucking
where is he? He hasn't come back. Is he waiting? Like, is he just biding his time until he can like come and kill me? Like that whole thing. She hasn't seen the little creatures in a while, so she's just kind of like, maybe I hallucinated all of it. Like maybe I'm just truly losing my mind. Yeah. And he does kind of come forward again, and he's like, "Who am I?" And she's like, "Bitch, I don't know. Like I don't know. Look at what I have to deal with. Like I don't care what you have going on." And he's like, "What if we?"
Well, what do you need? What do you need?
What do you need? Like, what can I do to alleviate this?
And then she's like, oh, you can help me. And he's like, I don't know, maybe.
She's like, well, can you make fucking corn grow? And he's
or kind can you make it rain?
Yeah,
or
can you make
like
it rain?
That. And then he ended up like he almost works on like urges in the moment where he put his like hand in the soil.
And he has her help him, right? Because he does kind of start
and he's like, doing it, and he's like, help, like, get in here.
Come here, let's help me.
Let's figure it out.
And then as they're doing it, he starts to get like, oh shit, okay, yes, this is what we can do.
I feel
he's like, you can feel it too, right? Like, can you feel it? And she's kind of like, I do feel something. Like, something is happening.
Yes.
But she's like not understanding. Like, they're both kind of like, this feels familiar, but I don't understand.
Right.
But none of this still just doesn't make any sense.
Like, I don't know what to do, how it's working, what to say.
Yeah.
What it is, who it is, but like, let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then somehow it leads into like this, almost like this chant between them.
Yeah.
And it turns like melodious. And next thing you know, magically, this like stalk of corn is like flourishing. And it's her unbelievable.
Field grows, rain comes, like, and she's like, it's just.
Well, they end up doing it to more and more.
Yeah.
Like, but they were like literally just in the beginning, the one, and they're like, she's like, oh my God, I can do this with your help.
This with you, yeah.
And then the way that they make each other feel, and then in that instant, Father's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is who I am.
Yeah.
But so I need more.
Yeah.
I need to know more.
And he's kind of trying to push away like that murderous side of him, because he's like, that's not right. Like, this is not me. This is not who I am.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like...
This is who I am. This is what
that doesn't feel like it connects to me.
Yeah.
It feels like they... Like Forest Creek and Sky want that from me, and I don't know why they're lying. They're hiding something. This feels like that. Yeah. All the meanwhile, the little creatures are trying to tell him, like, this was a part of you, but that right now is not the time for this. But right now is the time for slaughtering.
Yeah, and they're trying to, like, tell him that, like, the people are responsible for, like,
all of this
used our magic. And they took us for granted. They took it all for granted.
And they took it all.
And they
stole our magic.
And so he's kind of like she does give him like gifts too. She's giving him little things in return for him helping her around the farm. And
One of those is a name. She names him.
She names him. She does name him. She names him Samson. Because that
Samson.
was the name of her goat. But she was like, you kind of remind me of him. So
I don't know why, which like...
Samson.
Because he ate the goat, so that's why it reminds you of it. And they do kind of have a
conversation about that, too, because she's like, are you the one that killed Edward? And he's kind of like...
Well, no, at that point, I think they just... It was just the goat, because he was like, no, I didn't.
He does kind of say something about
I know it comes up eventually, because then she gets mad. And it's a whole big fight.
It is a fight, but then she does, like, she is kind of like, okay, like, yeah, okay.
No, because it's more... Because then she's hella mad, especially at Forrest, and she's like, get the fuck away from here.
Yeah.
Don't come on my property.
Because Forrest is, like,
that was a whole other, that was like a quarter of the way
because, like,
the book.
Yeah, because Forrest does make fun of it. He, like, kind of pokes fun at the fact that, like, they murdered Edward. And even, like, father, and, like, yeah, we'll get to that. Because, like, or Samson, I guess.
Or I guess we could talk about it now. And like, that's just where we'll be.
Well, yeah, because like Samson is kind of like, bro, what the fuck? Like, because he does get really mad at Forrest because Forrest is like Forrest is watching all of this, and he's like, he has like little meetings with Creek and Sky, and he's like, father is not getting it. Like, he is not understanding. Like, Papa,
the urgency,
the Papa of the tree is like, it's wilting. It's not getting what it needs. He's not feeding and killing enough.
Like, we're failing.
Like,
oh God.
Papa's gonna die, and then
we're
all gonna be. We're fucked. And Creek and Sky are kind of like, I don't know. Like, she doesn't seem that bad,
right?
And he's kind of like, well, you guys are fucking tainted. Like,
yeah, just wait.
Because she keeps offering them milk and, like, gifts. And, like, they, like, will come over and, like, Creek and Sky are kind of like, that does look pretty good. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And they're kind of saying, like, she's really not as bad as they thought she was going to be. She's, like, returning the favor. Like, she gives, like, she weaves, like, a crown for Samson. And she makes him, because he likes, like,
the king,
little...
Right?
He also likes these little, like, candies that she makes.
Oh, it's like... Not brittle. Is it brittle?
I think it's like brittle.
It is, yeah.
And so he really likes it. And so she'll like make it for him, and she gives it to him all the time.
Yeah.
And so like they're getting closer. They're kind of, you know, tapping into more of like the magic that they can do together. But it's not every day. Like, I do know, like, sometimes she'll be like, dude, I haven't seen him in forever. Where is he? Like, I could really use his help right now. So almost for probably like 3/4 of the book, they are connected in their own line, but you do have two separate stories going on simultaneously for a majority of the book between Samson and his own shit and, like, Abitha and her own shit, because there's this whole entire time we're coming up and we're seeing different ways for Wallace to just completely derail anything that Abitha has going on, because she continues to make strides in the right way, such as, like, he pops over before she comes back to church and he notices, like, the corn is flourishing. He's immediately like, what the fuck? How did this happen? The last time I was here, there was barely anything and it was all, like, dying. And then on top of that, Abitha looks fantastic. Yeah. She's, like, able to eat.
She looks nourished. Her skin's glowing. Yeah. She's gorgeous. Her hair's beautiful. And he's like, I must be going absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And he's also just like, oh, fuck. Like,
and I need to come up with another plan, because I cannot allow this to happen. And then that's when he goes into the Pequot.
Yeah. It's the natives of, like, that area.
Yeah.
They were driven out.
Totally racist son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's fucking terrible, dude.
So he pretty much brings his son into this.
Yes.
His poor son. I do kind of feel bad for his son sometimes, because I'm like, he is such a young person.
Impressionable.
And he couldn't go against his father. Really impressionable.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but not only that, but, like, law-abiding, God-abiding, Puritan abiding.
If he had just been left alone.
Yeah. Like, it never would have happened.
Yeah.
And everybody knew it was fucked up.
Yeah. And there was a point, too, where, like, Wallace did come forward again, like, in between, but before, like, the corn and everything started to work out for her. He did, like, say, like, look, original offer's off the table. How about you marry my son.
Yes, I have a great idea.
Yeah, you can marry my son. You'll still be a part of the family. You can still stay on the farm, but you guys are still going to continue with the original magistrate deal.
With the payments.
And she's like, you know your son's in love with, like, I think her name's, like, Helen or something
and that's
like that.
the one who she originally gave the charm to in the beginning of the book.
And he's like, he'll be fine. Like, he'll know
it's a business
duty,
transaction. You know? Like, it has to be done.
Like, no, like, fuck you. Like, you're horrible.
You're a fucking douche, no matter who it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, he decides he's going to go enlist the help of not only his son, but this man who is known for being able to get things done discreetly. And so he's kind of like, look, I need your help. We're going to steal this corn. Because, like, at this point, Abitha, like, it's coming up on, like, the due date for her to make her payment. And he's like, what's going to happen is we're going to go and steal all of her corn. She's harvested it. It's, like, ready to go. It's, like, just sitting in the barn.
Yeah.
And the guy's kind of like, why would I want to steal this random person's corn?
Right.
And he was like, why are you asking questions? You can
like, I'm here to hire you.
Yeah, you can take whatever you want.
Take whatever you want.
I just want it gone. I
don't even want the corn. You can literally have all the corn.
Take all of it.
And this guy's, like, really down on his luck. His wife is basically, and he's a native man. He's fallen on hard times where he can't provide for his family.
And his wife is kind of like, if you don't figure something out,
like I'm gonna leave you, or you're gonna leave us. And so he looks at this opportunity as, like, it's not like a robbery. There shouldn't be any kind of fight that ensues.
He's like, it's just one woman.
She's one woman.
There's anything.
Exactly. It's in the dead of night. We're gonna take this corn. He told me to bring, like, on, like, kind of like a wheelbarrow kind of thing. And then from there, I can just go home with my corn and provide for my family. Like, he's like, this is, like, super chill. Yeah. Super easy. Otherwise, I don't think he would have done it because he's trying to also stay out of, like, crime.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, like, they made it very clear that he's to leave her alone. Yeah. Like, the authority figures in their town have made it clear, leave this woman alone. You're obsessed. Get over it. Wallace is obsessed. Whatever happens will happen. Yes. Right? And so, yeah, he enlists the help of these guys to help him. They go in the middle of the night and they start stealing her corn, right? Yes. They start loading it up into these carts. The native man, he did bring 2 of his buddies to help him out. I think they're like his cousins or brother or something like that. They're helping him out.
And there's too much corn.
Too much corn. They're like, we don't have enough room.
And Wallace is tripping balls, like, load more, load more, load
like
more.
Their cart is getting weighed down.
We can't lift this out of here.
Like, fuck it, take her cart too. And, like, they're like, you know what, this is too much.
Acting
this is not crazy. Worth it. They're like, we don't even fucking want the corn anymore. Like, we're out, right? Yeah. And so Wallace is like, let's set the barn on fire. He's like, I'm gonna set the fucking barn on fire.
And then he's like, whoa.
Starts to burn down the barn. This alerts Abitha. She comes in and she is like, well, the fuck are you doing here? Yeah. And she shoots Wallace, but she shoots him in, like, the leg. And so it's, like, flesh wound, like, nothing too crazy, but it's, like, enough to see, like, he's wounded from doing what he's not supposed to be fucking doing. Yeah. And Samson comes in and everybody sees Samson and they're like, they immediately Satan. Yes. Like, the natives are like, oh, fuck. Like, they kind of recognize who he is. And they're like...
Well, they say Slewfoot.
Yeah, Slewfoot.
Like they Slewfoot, which is the name of the book, obviously.
And Samson, again, is like, Slewfoot.
Who the fuck is Slewfoot?
But then he kills one of the native men. The other 2
Well, they immediately... They're like... I think they were scared in the moment where they were, like,
in shock.
Thought that they had to defend themselves. Yeah. Even though nothing at that moment was, like, happening.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it was Abitha that needed to defend. But, I think, doesn't she also, like, doesn't Wallace, like, hit her or something like that? Something happens where she gets hit. And so, like, she was unable to, like, that's why she missed, like, Wallace altogether with the, well, not altogether, but that's why she got him in the leg.
I wonder if I can find, like, a little excerpt about this part here in the book. But, yeah, keep going.
So, yeah, everybody just dips. They're like, fuck this isn't worth it, and they leave. Abitha is left with no corn, because the whole barn has been burned to the ground at this point.
She was mostly worried at that time, too, like getting the animals out of the barn.
Yeah, I think she was successful in getting the mule out, but then I think she lost, like, her chickens, because she had chickens in there, and I think, like, her other goat, too.
Yeah.
So she's kind of left, like, with nothing. She had already harvested all the corn. There's nothing left from, like, this crop, and she's like, today is the day, or, like, it's, like, tomorrow is the day that I have to make this payment. And so she's like, what am I gonna fucking do? And between this, Forrest has taken it upon himself, like, even without telling Creek and Sky, because he's like, he can tell that, like, they just love Abitha. So he's like, okay, I'm just gonna have to fucking kill her myself, because Father is too wrapped up in Abitha. He's not gonna fucking do anything. And so he basically is, like, talking to, like, the poisonous creatures in the area. So, like, snakes, spiders, like centipedes. And he's like, I'm going to hide them in her house. And nothing really comes of that. They don't really get her in her house. But as she's walking to, like, the outhouse, she does get bit by a snake.
Oh, there was, like, tons.
Yeah, there's a ton of snakes.
There was,
so
like,
she got
20
bit.
snakes. The centipedes were all over. She got bit a whole bunch.
Yeah, a bunch of times. Like, enough that
to kill her.
Should have killed her.
Yeah, and then she got very sick.
Yeah, and Father Samson ends up healing her and saving her, and, like, all the poison gets pushed out of her body.
Because some of his... Is that when he shared his blood with her?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he looks to, like, his little children, and he's like, who did this? Who would do this? And Forrest is kind of like,
me.
You're clouded. Your judgment's clouded. And, like,
she needs to fucking die.
And this is where it comes out that, like, yes, Samson was responsible for killing Edward. He's, like, poking fun at it as she's, like, literally recovering from multiple freaking poisonous snake bites. It's seeping out of her body. She's, like, feeling haggard. And Samson at this point, like, he, like, smacks the shit out of Forrest, and he's like, you get out of my fucking sight. I told you to leave her alone. You didn't listen to me. And so he kind of banishes Forrest to the forest, pretty much. And Forrest is like, you know what? It's your fault if Papa dies. Like, it's because you refuse to listen to us. You refuse to look inside yourself and see who you are. You refuse to acknowledge your true nature. Fine. And so he just kind of goes off. And so Abitha is like, what am I going to do? And Abitha does say, like, hey, like, she's mad at him, yes, at Forrest, but she's also kind of like, oh, Forrest,
yeah,
you know? But at this point, she's like, okay, I can't even worry about that right now. Fine, whatever happened with Edward, it happened. But she's kind of like, we need to do something. Like, I have nothing to give. Wallace is going to win. I know it was Wallace that did this last night, but how am I going to explain everything in you, like, without being called, like, a witch? So she's kind of like, I don't know what to do.
And I still, I still am not going to have the funds. So regardless, he wins.
So then she's kind of looking over at, like, Edward's beehive, and...
Well, Samson comes over and he's like,
what can I do?
What can I do?
How can I fix this?
And yeah.
And she's kind of looking at, like, the beehive and, like, because, like, Edward kept bees, and she's kind of looking at it, and, like, they kind of come together again. They kind of go through this, like, little ritual thing again, where she now, like, they chant together, they, you know, hold hands, and, like, they do the whole thing. And then now the bees
are listening
to her, almost like she's, like, the queen bee at this point. And so they just get to work making a shit ton of honeycomb, and, like, it goes from, like, being, like, this little, like, what would be, like, a drip off of, like, a shovel or something like that, to it turns into, like,
pounds and pounds
of honey.
Yeah, because, like, I did get to the part where she was, like, taking the honey into Hartford to the Black Toad Inn to see Barry Jones and speak with him on, like, how much, because they don't use, like, there's no U.S. Treasury, right? There's no, like, dollar bills and coins and stuff, and how they pay is, like, these.
Isn't it? like
these shells that have been
like pressed into like they kind of just like
these little almost like pearl looking things.
Like so I mean she's kind of like, okay, like maybe this is
how
I pay off my debt, right? So Wallace, knowing what he knows, he goes and gets the reverends, he gets the sheriff involved, and he's like, okay, we're gonna evict her today, right? She's obviously not gonna be able to, she's not gonna be able to pay. So he takes them all out to her farm. And Abitha like comes to the door. They're pounding on the door. They like, she's like, come on in. Like, what can I do for you? And they're kind of like, well, you're late on your payment. And she's like, well, today is like, I think she's like October, whatever. And they're like, well, yeah. And she's like, okay.
So I'm not late because it is today.
Yeah, it's today.
And they're like, quit fooling around. Yeah. Like, let's just like get it over with. Like, if you don't, if it's
the sheriff and the reverend are both still really nice and respectful to her.
They are.
But Wallace is kind of like, you stupid woman. Like, let's just get this done and over with. Quit trying to fucking. Yeah. And so she's kind of like, well, while I know that we agreed on corn, she's like, you know, we didn't really specify exactly what the payment had to be. But she's like, my funny thing is my barn, as you can see, like, was
weird,
set on fire. She's like, Wallace, I noticed that you're limping. I heard that you dropped like a fork into your leg. Is that like, you know, onto your leg or something like that? That's crazy, you know? And she's kind of like, I dare you to say something because I have something to say as well.
Yeah.
Wallace obviously is not going to do that. So he ends up like, he's kind of like, well, obviously you can't pay. There's no fucking corn. You're not gonna be able to grow corn by the end of the day. And she's like, well, will honey do? And she like shows them all of this honey that she's got. Like, it's so much that and honey is more valuable than corn in this area because they use it for everything. And so she's kind of like, she has way more honey that it is even equal to the corn that she owed. It's like pounds more.
Like, she has
like
she already had, yes. Yeah. And she already has a majority of like the payment to provide. She just needed, I think, to make like one more trip in with the remainder of the honey. Or what she wants to do in that case is just like take the honey. Yeah. You go fucking do it. This is how much I'm getting for this. You can see this person at this place and this is what you'll get paid. Transaction's done. This is my farm.
And Wallace is pissed. Like,
he's like, no, loses his we agreed
shit
on corn and and they're like, well, actually,
they're like, this is actually more than enough to cover the debt. Like, she's good.
Yeah, it's that the payment would be made, not that the payment had to be made with corn. It was just that you'd have payment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
he's just trying to reject it.
He's rejecting it.
Everybody shuts it down.
Yeah, I think at one point he even like gets physical with her, tries to grab her, and like I think he like smacks her at one point too. And they're like, "You are out of fucking line.
Yeah,
leave. Like, we're leaving. We're sorry we bothered you.
Yeah,
this is settled. This is your farm, Wallace. You have to figure it out. Like, yes, she's good. Leave her alone." And they say. If we see you messing around with this woman again, you will be put in the stocks.
Yes.
We're done with this. Keep your head, take your dignity, go home. Okay? So they leave. Wallace is pissed. And Wallace is like, I know what I saw the other night. She's dealing with witchcraft. We're going to deal with this. And so he kind of starts planning that route. So in between this, like, Samson kind of goes off on his own venture again. He does come across like a woman. He does go into the village or the town. He comes across like a woman and her like young grandson.
Yes.
As they're picking berries, and she's kind of got her back turned.
The little boy was totally like fine with him.
Yeah. He handed him some berries, gave him like a little gift. Samson like ate it. And he like for a second he kind of questioned like, should I eat this little thing? Like, I don't know if I should or shouldn't.
Yeah.
And again he starts to get more pieces of who he may or may not be. And then he's kind of going on like this like long journey of self-discovery. In between this as well, Abitha does go back to church. She does find out that the Reverend Carter, the one who's been so nice, and his wife Sarah, their daughter ends up getting was like the measles.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's kind of like, ooh, I remember when I had that. She's like, they showed me kindness when I needed it. And so she's like, I want to find something to do to help them. So
she's trying to remember, like, back in her brain, like, what her mother, what kind of, like, treatment she put together for measles.
Yeah, she does make, like, a little poultice thing.
But she requests, though, Samson's help, right, for this? So that
he gives
way.
her, he gives her, like, some words that she needs to say over this girl, and it should help heal her. And so she does go into town. She says, like, hey, I brought this cream. Right. You put this on her scars. I know it helped me a lot when I had the measles.
Yep.
And
so she kind of masks it
as, like,
so it's not like a spell.
Yeah. And she's like, I'll help, I'll come pray with her, pray with you guys.
And so she makes sure to tell the Reverend's wife, Sarah, like, well, I always start these out with a prayer. Would you join me in prayer? Yeah. So then they start that. And then when she goes off to, like, chanting for the actual, like, spell of it all, that she keeps, like, to a minimum, almost like a whisper. So that way she doesn't get looked at for, like, speaking in tongues, kind of.
Yeah.
Because she still very much wants to, like, play it safe, but she does want to help because they've been so helpful to her.
Kind to her. Yeah, so she ends up, like, doing this little spell thing, and it heals this girl, like, very quickly. Yeah. Her fever goes away. She stops shaking. She's not, like, mumbling. And
she's not having, like,
hallucinate. Like,
that's what I was gonna say.
They say, like, she has hallucinations.
Fever.
And she's kind of like, oh, like, what? She does say something about, because, like,
febrile seizures.
Yeah, Abitha does say that, like, there was, like, wasn't it, like, glowing or something like that? Like, something was glowing, and something did happen to where, like, if Sarah had opened her eyes, she would have seen, like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
But she was, like, so wrapped up in her prayer that she did not see, like, this take place. And so the little girl is kind of like, you were glowing, and she's like, oh no, like, you were just tired sleeping, like, you must have been hallucinating. And so she does that. She goes home, and they're kind of like, hey, you need to be careful on your way home. Like, there was, this was the other thing.
Yeah, there's somebody.
Samson, while he was off on his adventures, he comes across, like, a den of wolves.
Yes.
And they're being hunted by 2 of the members of the town. And they did kill one wolf, and he kind of is able to, like, he does again, like, kind of his thing. He kind of reaches out to the wolves. The wolves then turn to him as, like, their pack leader. And then he's kind of like
they can understand one another.
Them.
Yeah, and he's like, well, let's go. Come with me.
Kill him. Like, fuck him up. And so they go forward, and they kill this guy and his son as they're hunting these wolves. They kill him and the son. And so they're kind of like, again, when she's walking home from taking care of them. So
he just aided in helping the wolves kill the
he
two that were hunting the wolves. He did
have some of their blood too. Like, I think he did. I thought he tasted some of their blood. Were
they trying to kill Samson too? Is that
they did see Samson as well? Yeah. But, like, I think something like that. Yeah. And so he ends up, like, kind of feasting on one. And then he just kind of runs off with the wolves.
And he's like, he felt bad right away, because I remember he was like, like, Abitha can't find out about that.
Yeah.
Like, he felt guilty.
He did feel guilty.
He was like, that's not me.
Yeah.
And then, but now he's like, the leaders of, like, these wolves, and he's, like, coming into his calling as, like, being one with, like, all the animals and, like, the forest.
Yeah, nature.
And then, when he was off on his own for those few months too, I know you brought it up, right? The old lady that saw him and had a fucking heart attack and died.
Yeah.
And then they just, like, so the little boy that was with her grandson, he's totally fine. But then when he sees her freak out, and then she literally fucking dies of a heart attack, then he now has this horrible, terrified perception of Samson, and, like, he's going back into town about that. And then that's when the men go out to start, like, hunting, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're focusing on wolves, because they're like, this little boy has no idea what he's talking about with regards to, like, Slewfoot, right? It's a jam-packed book full of
Yeah.
I feel like we're at a good halfway point.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's kind of disappears for a while.
He does, because he's trying to
and
figure
Abitha
out
is
himself.
kind of like, where did he go?
Where did he go? Shit's starting to go
south for her.
And she doesn't have her friend. And it's all Wallace's fault. Like, every single
story,
twist and turn that you run across, and what's so interesting is that so many different times Samson offered to Abitha for him to just kill Wallace, and like she's like, no, like, I don't want that on my conscience. That's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, he'll eventually give up. Little does she know, like, those kinds of men just know. They
will not quit.
And they will not quit, and they will take.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're at like kind of a crossroads with like
what's
the wild folk creatures are like have one idea going on. Slewfoot, aka Samson, is just trying to figure out where he is and what his place is in the world.
Yeah.
Abitha's still devastated over the loss of her husband and going through like the hills and valleys of just trying to maintain home ownership and not get it fucking robbed from under her feet.
Yeah.
And then all the while, there's like this overarching theme of like this Puritan lifestyle way to live.
Yeah, like the fear of witchcraft and Satan
and yes. And
yeah.
I think,
yeah, going into part 2, like we get
it's gonna
all
get
of the answers we need, but we also get some pretty fucked up shit that happens between then and there.
And then kind of in the background with the wild folk, like specifically Forest Creek and Sky, is they are hush hush talking amongst themselves about, we really have to get Father like on board with Papa. He needs to remember this needs to happen. Otherwise, I keep wanting to say sorcerer, but it's not that. And I know his name is Mamanupet, but like the shaman. The shaman will find him and destroy him, and then it all will be for nothing. For good. And we will all be in purgatory, darkness, hell forever. And so you're like, what is this other part of the story that's going on here?
Yeah, their main concern for sure is just like preserving like their nature and the land and all that. Like that is what they worry about. Like their forest,
the animals, the forest, Mother Earth.
Yeah, like following like they do follow like the circle of life. Yeah, right, but no outside influence. That brings the first half of our Slewfoot journey to a close. Abitha has made her choice, and the woods are starting to answer back.
We want to hear your thoughts on the village of Sutton. Head over to our Instagram or Patreon to check out this week's Midnight Drop visual gallery and join the discussion.
If you have your own spooky, cozy, real-life tale, don't forget to submit it to our anonymous Midnight Confessions link, and we'll put that in the description below.
Sounds good. Yep. And until next week, keep the lights low and the volume up.
Thank you for joining us in the dark. Sleep well if you can.
And remember, some stories are meant to haunt you. Bye. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.